Hey guys, what's up? Yeah, this is me using my digital voice recorder to do this, but as you could tell, I have basically what is known as a top 5 pro wrestling championships tier list here, and what this is about, so the way I'm going to do it, and the description says it best, is I'm going to do basically a top 5. I got it categorized. Basically, D is going to be blank because I don't really need that one. So it's just going to be these 4 right here. If you see them, and if the words don't match up too well with what you see on the screen, I do apologize. I'm not doing this live or anything, because I have my mom home now and it's her Easter break, so it's a little harder to do. Also drinking some root beer to keep me going. But anyway, the description says it best, that this is a top 5 titles. Basically, it's the top. Well, basically, like it says, it's the top 5 pro wrestling championship tier list. And the way it's going to go is each category is going to be with the top 5 titles in those categories, and the first one being treated as the most prestigious. So, in other words, the first one that's right next to the description of what the category is, that is the #1 title. That is basically looked at by many as probably the most prestigious title, or basically treated as the most prestigious title in wrestling right now, as being like very important, like the one everybody goes after and everything. So with that said, let's take a look at the championships here for a moment, and hold on for a sec, guys, while I pause this. Okay, guys, I'm back. And just make sure everything's working here. If you see the screen recorder on there, counter, I do apologize. And just making sure I got everything. I had to add a few other titles I forgot to add. But anyway, like I said, the way this is going to go is it's a top 5 titles for each category, and the first one being treated, with the first one being treated as the most prestigious. In other words, the first one next to the name of the category is #1. So a champion. So in the case of the World Championships, the picture of the championship belt that's there is the most prestigious championship, or looked at as the most prestigious by a lot of people, from what I understand. And so on with the secondary titles, women's championships, and tag team championships. Basically, each title that's looked at as the most prestigious in that category, that's next to the name of the category that it's in, is looked at as #1. So we're going to start off here, and again, I do apologize if things don't match up too well, screen to voice. We're going to start off, of course, looking at these titles here. And this one we have is the AEW World Tag Team Titles, and we're going to put them, of course, in the tag team area. And right now they're at #1, but that could change, throughout. So that's good. Then we got the AEW Women's Championship, which is also going to go in the women's category, of course. The IWGP US Championship, we're going to put that in the secondary category. The AEW World Title, we're going to, of course, put in the World Title category. This one is the Impact Knockouts title, I believe. That will be going right here next to that. And right now, that's basically how it's categorized. I look at the fact that the AEW Women's title is... Oh, no, that's in the wrong category, I must say. I look at the women's, the AEW Women's title being treated as more prestigious than the Impact Knockouts title right now. Then we have the World title for Impact Wrestling. We're going to put that right next to the AEW Championship, which again kind of falls in that same category. Then the Tag Team titles for Impact Wrestling, I would say I have to put them ahead right now of AEW because it looks like Impact is treating the belts a little bit more prestigiously. I mean, they just recently put them onto the team of Finn Juice, that's Juice Robinson and David Finlay, and they're getting, by doing so, they're getting some exposure in New Japan. And if you believe anything, coming out of Impact's mouth, they are defending those titles in Japan as we speak. Just drinking some root beer. Alright, so the X Division title, I'm going to put it a little ahead, if I can move it here, I'm going to put it a little ahead of the IWGP US Championship because it's on Moxley right now, so it's not being defended regularly. And, because of the fact that we're still trying to get out of this whole COVID situation, it kind of hurts the prestige a little bit. The IWGP Tag Titles, I'm going to put them... I'll put them right behind the AEW Championship Tag Team Titles because, at least from what I can tell, AEW is defending the championships a lot more with the Bucks. Maybe not as much as Impact, but, they're doing more so than IWGP New Japan. The MLW Middleweight Championship is in the secondary category, so I'm going to put that ahead of the U.S. Championship, if I can get it over there. Yeah, I'm going to put it right ahead of the U.S. Championship because even though it's on Leo Rush right now, I think it's basically being more defended more often than anything. So we're going to put it right there. Now you might be wondering, well, what about the National Openweight Championship? Honestly, the National Openweight Championship, it hasn't been defended as much, even though Hammerstone has it. But if I could categorize it, I'd probably put it, right before the IWGP US Championship, in my opinion, because, even though it hasn't been defended as much, it's still looked at as being, treated more seriously than anything before. So, kind of think of the middleweight title as representing both of them, if you will. Okay, so what else is next? This is the MLW Tag Titles. I'll put them right behind the IWGP Tag Titles because they're not being defended as much, as basically, the IWGP Championships, due to the fact that they are on the team of the Los Pacs family, and they go back and forth with AAA, so I have to put the MLW Tag Titles right behind that, if you will. The MLB World, not MLB, but the MLW. I'm sorry if I pronounce it wrong here. What I meant to say is the MLW Tag Titles are right behind that, as well as the MLW middleweight and national weight titles, because like I said, you can consider that being like the representative of both. So, I'm sorry if I said MLB. Baseball just started, so baseball's on the brain. But the MLW World Title, I'm gonna put that just slightly ahead of the Impact World Championship because, it seems to me that it's almost like every other week they have Jacob Fatu defending it, so I like that. So that's pretty good. The IWGP World Championship, I'm gonna put that. Hold on, let me fix this again. Sorry. The IWGP World Championship, I'm gonna put that slightly ahead of the MLB title because even though Kota Ibushi has it right now, it definitely feels like it's being treated as a very prestigious, legit championship. As a matter of fact, I'm going to put that right ahead of the Impact World Title. So we'll put not Impact, but the AEW World Title. So we'll put the AEW title secondary. And right now, the IWGP World Title is at number one because, like I said, even though this is a championship created out of a unification of the IWGP Championship and a Continental Championship, it's still treated as a very prestigious, important title. The TNT Championship, I'm going to put that slightly before, slightly ahead of the MLB Middleweight Championship and Open National Weight Championship, because I like the fact that they have Darby Allin defending it almost every other week. So I kind of like that idea. Let's see, the NWA Women's Championship. I'm going to put that right behind the Knockouts title because we don't see it defended as much. NWA Power is on Fight Now, so I don't know if they defended it on the first pay-per-view, which is the back for the Attack pay-per-view or whatever it was. So I'm just going to put it right behind the Knockouts title. The NWA National Championship, I'm going to put that right behind the IWGP US title because, again, actually I'll put that slightly ahead of it maybe. Yeah, I'll just put that slightly ahead of it because it did recently change hands, I think, on the first television show back since the pandemic. I think the first pay-per-view or television show back since the pandemic, and it's in the hands of Chris Masters or Chris Mordensky, whatever he's going by. So it's slightly just above the IWGP US Championship. The NWA World Title, I think I'm going to put that right below the Impact World Title because even though I know it's a very prestigious championship, I just think that, they could do a lot more with it. I think Nick Aldis needs to at least do what Serena Deeb and Thunder Rosa did, and that's at least crossover to AEW or maybe even Impact and give it more prestige. I mean, he did it with Ring of Honor, so why not with these other two, if you will. The NWA World Tag Titles, I'll probably put them, I'm going to put them slightly above the MLW Tag Titles, because I think even though we don't know it right now, the being probably defended more often than we can expect. Just because we don't see it on television right now doesn't mean they're not being defended. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do there. And then we got the U.S. Championship, the WWE U.S. title. I'm going to slot that just slightly above the NWA National Championship. Just because, if you will. And then you're probably wondering what about the Intercontinental title? That's a good point, and hold on while I pause this to take care of that. Okay guys, I'm back. I had to take care of something real there, and again, I do apologize if you see the screen recorder counter. Just making sure everything's working. But yeah, let's move on here. The WWE Championship, currently held by Bobby Lashley, I'm going to put that slightly above the AEW World Championship because they're not really doing much with the AEW World Championship. I mean, yes, they got the champion competing on television every week and everything, but they have, but he has yet defended a championship since basically Revolution in that exploding barbed wire match. And right now, the way they're treating the WWE Championship on Raw, by putting it on Lashley, they're treating it as if it's a legit, real championship. It's basically like, this is what you really want. This is, how important it is. So, I'm going to put it slightly above that. The Universal Championship, I'm going to slightly put that below the WWE title. It's going to be right in the same category. And no, it's not because I'm a WWE fan or anything. It's just the way it's being the way the presentation is right now. I just see it being that way. I really do. And still, the IWGP World Heavyweight title is the most prestigious. The NXT title, I'm going to slot that a little below the I'm going to slot that a little below the AEW Championship just because of the fact that, Finn Balor hasn't defended it as much and it's not. And compared to the AEW Championship, the AEW Championship is being presented as more prestigious in a sense above it. The North American Championship, I'm gonna put that just slightly above the NWA North American title, on NWA National Championship. Yep, just put it slightly there. The let's see here. Yeah, these first two, the TNT and the X Division title, I think are about right. If you will, but in fact, I think I'll move the TNT title up front because it seems to be defended more often than not. The Raw Tag Team titles, I'm going to put them slightly above the NWA Tag titles. I think that they have a little bit more, they're being treated more often, being treated more sincerely. The SmackDown titles, I think I'll put them, yeah, and because of the fact that they're building up this big fatal four-way, and it seems SmackDown has more teams to go for it, I'm going to put them slightly above the IWGP Tag titles. So you get the IWGP Tag titles crunched in the middle. And as far as the Junior Heavyweight titles, I don't know who has those right now. But so again, just like with the MLW Middleweight Championship, consider the IWGP Tag titles a representative of both of where they're at. Okay, the SmackDown Women's title, I'm gonna put that right smack above of the AEW Women's Championship because it's getting more prestige right now. It's getting more focus on. Yeah, it's WrestleMania season, but it feels like it's been treated more importantly even before WrestleMania, and not just because Sasha has it. The Raw Women's Championship, I'm gonna put that right between the AEW Championship and the Impact Knockouts title because it's not being treated as best, not treated as well as the SmackDown title, but it's kind of like in that top 3 category. The women's tag team titles, this is a hard one here because now it seems like this. Okay guys, I'm back here. Sorry about that. I had to pause for a second. Again, I do apologize if you see the timer a little bit. But where was I? Oh yeah, I was going with the Women's Championship before I had the Women's Tag Titles. Like I was saying, kind of hard for me to look at here. But as crazy as it's gonna sound, I'm gonna put them slightly. I'm gonna put them slightly above the Raw Tag Team titles because it seems that, matter of fact, honestly, I know people are gonna hate me for. I know people are not gonna like me for this, but I'm gonna put them slightly above the IWGP Tag titles because it seems right now that yes, it is WrestleMania season. It seems like they are trying to make them feel important and justified for possibly a spot on WrestleMania. So. There we go. So right now, just because of the way they're being treated and everything, I have to slightly put them above the IWGP Tag titles. And then the Intercontinental Championship, it's hard to describe. I'm gonna have to put it right below the X Division Championship. I really do. No, actually, I'm going to put it right behind the TNT title. So yeah, because it is WrestleMania season, but it seems even before Mania they're giving it a little bit more prestige and everything. But yeah, there you go, guys. That is my top 5 Pro Wrestling Championships tier list. The way each goes is we have the IWGP title as the #1 world title being treated with the most prestige. The TNT title is the top secondary title treated as the most important, as being very important. the SmackDown Women's Championship as being the #1 women's title being treated with prestige, and the Impact Tag Titles, in my opinion, are definitely up there as the ones with the most prestige right now, being treated with the most importance. So, yeah, that's about it, guys, and hope you guys enjoyed it. This is actually my second tier, and I do apologize because my mom's home now, so I gotta be a little bit more quieter and stuff. So thank you, but I hope you guys enjoyed that. Let me know what your thoughts are down below. How would you rank these titles in your own opinion? Let me know if you've made your own kind of tiers similar to this. And I will talk to y'all later. God bless. Take care. Get vaccinated if you can. And I am out. Peace, guys.